Alright guys, what's up? It's Shin back with another Honkai Star Rail video, and today, as you can see, we're going to be talking about the best girl, Acheron, and we're going to be doing a summarized version of her kit. If you want a more in-depth kind of explanation, you can check out my original video. I will link that down in the description. But this is going to be a more condensed version with the confirmed kit and any new related information that they have for her. So as you know, she's a Lightning Nihility. She's got these. I'll scroll down a little bit so you can see her stats right here. And then let's just go straight into her skills. Her basic attack, it's, standard. I'm not going to go over that. Her skill gains 1 point of slash dreams and inflicts a stack of crimson knots on an enemy, dealing lightning damage to 160% of her attack. And then blast damage of 60% to adjacent enemies. So she does have blast attack, which is very nice, especially with just how the game is going. That's super awesome. Her ultimate, AoE slash dreams cries in red. She unleashes 3 attacks that you can direct the target, so you can choose who it attacks. And Stygian Resurge 1 time, dealing lightning damage up to 372% of her attack to a single target, as well as 300% to other targets. Rainblade, dealing lightning damage up to 24% of her attack to a single target of enemy, and removes 3 stacks of Crimson Knot from the target. When Crimson Knot's removed, immediately gains, immediately deals lightning damage equal to 15% of her attack to all enemies. For every stack removed, the multiplier for this is additionally increased up to a maximum of 60. That's really awesome. Good stuff. Stygian Resurge deals lightning damage up to 120% of her attack to all enemies and removes all Crimson Knots, and it cannot be applied during the ultimate. That's fair. You know what? Good stuff. Now, her talent is where her kit kind of comes together. It's her main game. Like, when Slash Dreams reaches 9 points or 9 stacks, ultimate can be activated. During the ultimate, reduces enemies' toughness regardless of weakness types, and reduces all enemies all type resistance by 20% until the end of the ultimate. That is wild. Super strong. When any unit inflicts a debuff on the enemy while enemy target while using their ability, Acheron gains 1 point of slash dreams and inflicts a stack of Crimson Knot. If debuffs are inflicted on multiple enemies, then 1 stack of Crimson Knot will be inflicted on the enemy with the most Crimson Knot stacks. It'll need to be activated once per 1 ability usage. So essentially once per turn per character. After an enemy target exits the field or gets defeated by any unit while Acheron is on the field, their Crimson Knot stacks will be transferred to an enemy target with the most Crimson Knot stacks on the field. One thing they did confirm during the 2.1 stream is that enemies inflicting debuffs on themselves also counts towards this. So she does get a stack for the enemies applying debuffs on themselves, which is really cool. It's just all the Rainblade scaling. Her technique immediately attacks the enemy, gains quadrivalent ascendance, dealing lightning damage equal to 200% of her attack to all enemies, reducing toughness of all enemies irrespective of enemy weakness types. When weakness is broken, triggers lightning weakness break effect. That is crazy. Quadrivalent ascendance. After using ultimate, Acheron gains 1 point of slash dream and inflicts 1 stack of Crimson Knot on a random enemy. If attacking a normal enemy, immediately defeats them without entering combat. When not hitting any enemies, no technique points are consumed. They did confirm this does work in Simulated Universe. So that's really awesome and really helps things speed along, especially because you still get the blessings afterwards, which is really freaking cool. And then her Ascension traces, Thunder Core, Rainblade from Acheron's ultimate hits an enemy target with Crimson Knot. Her damage is increased by 30%, stacking up to 3 times and lasting 3 turns. That is a lot for a long time, really. 3 turns is a long time in this game. When Stygian Resurge triggers, additionally deal damage for 6 times, each time dealing lightning damage equal to 25% of her attack to a single enemy, and is viewed as part of the ultimate damage. That is wild. That is crazy. And then the Abyss for 2. When there are 1 or 2 Nihility characters other than Acheron in the team, The damage dealt by Acheron's basic attack, skill, and ultimate increases by 100, or increases to 115% or 160% of the original damage. That is wild. That is awesome. I love it. And now I'm just going over this so you guys know. Again, this shows summary. So if you guys already know, just leave a like, comment your teams down below. Red Oni, she gains 5 stacks of slash streams at the start of battle and applies 5 stacks of Crimson Knot. When slash streams reaches its upper limit, for every point of slash stream that exceeds the limit, 1 stack of Quadrivalent Ascendance increases the stackable amount of Quadrivalent Ascendance to 3. That's really good. Really awesome. And then right here, stat bonuses, where she gets like her stats. So no crit rate. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And then her Eidolons. First one, in just a flat crit rate increase. That's awesome. Especially because dealing enemy damage to debuff enemies is her entire game plan. So that is just a flat crit rate boost, which is really helpful because she needs it. And her E2 reduces the number of characters required for the Abyss by 1, so you only need 1 to get the full effect of that trace in terms of the nihility requirement. And when she starts her turn, she gets 1 point of slash stream and inflicts 1 stack of Crimson Knot on the enemy with the most Crimson Knot stacks. So we'll skip 3 because it's just a stat. 3 and 5 are just skill levels, so we're just going to ignore those. When an enemy target enters combat, make them vulnerable to ultimate damage, increasing the amount of damage they take from ultimates by 8%. That is crazy because you can, based on my assumption, you can boost every character's ultimate damage. Like, it's just across the board, which is really awesome and super helpful. And just increases your team's damage floor. And then her E6 increases all type res pen for the ultimate damage dealt by Acheron by 20%. So she deals 20% more damage if they are not weak to lightning than she would. The damage dealt by basic attack and skills will also be considered ultimate damage and can reduce enemy toughness regardless of weakness types. When weakness is broken, trigger lightning weakness break effect. So she is just completely breaking the game. Her E6 completely changes the game. I know 5-star E6s, you know, you're just not really thinking anyways, but this makes that even more so. That is absolutely wild, and I cannot wait to go whale for her as my first character I'm ever whaling for in a game. If you want to see that, check out my Twitch channel at shimpone_.ttv. Check it out. We're chill there, big chillin'. And for stats, crit rate, chest piece, attack boots, lightning damage, orb, and attack rope. So glad you don't have to worry about energy regen with this lady. And then her relics, luckily they have it all here for me, so I don't have to really go into much detail. But best in slot relic is going to be Pioneer Dead Waters, just because it increases damage dealt to debuffed enemies, which, since you're running her with nihility characters, you're going to be attacking a lot of debuffed enemies, if not all debuffed enemies. So increases her damage dealt and increases her crit rate and crit damage alongside that as well. And it's just her best in slot weapon, especially you can tell just visually. Look at that flower. Look at that flower. Look at that Crimson Knot on there. It's so cool. And then Band of Sizzling Thunder is her second best because it just increases lightning damage dealt. And when they use their skill, increases their attack by 20% for another turn, just kind of allowing you to, you know, keep damage. But again, it's not nearly as good as Dead Waters. And Musketeer, I feel like it's implied that this is a good set for anyone, but I don't think it's a good 4-piece set. I think best case for like a budget friendly is trying to get 2-piece Dead Waters, 2-piece Sizzling Thunder. If you have to mix sets, that's what I would recommend, because getting two good pieces for 2 different sets is a lot easier than getting 4 good pieces in one set. Best planner set, Izumo Gensai. I think this is just, you know, it's tailored for her, because if you have any other characters that follow the same path, it increases crit rate Again, like both of these sets increase crit rate because she doesn't give herself crit rate. So it's really helpful. It's a given that you use this. And then if you don't have that, or if you can't, if as a substitute, you can always run Inert Cell Soto because it increases crit rate by 8%. And then when it's at 50% or higher, which it should be, the wearer's ultimate and follow-up damage is increased by 15%. So additionally increasing your ultimate damage, which if you have her at E4, or no, E6 rather, everything is considered ultimate. So you're just buffing her damage insanely, even more. And then Space Sealing Station, again, another just standard throw it on a character and it's going to do good work. So those are her relics and Eidolons and a summary of her kit. What I will go into next is light cone options, which I'm sure it's been covered to death, but I would like to give my own opinion. So I'm going to give 3 options: best in slot, best 4-star, and then free to play. Along the passing shore is going to be her obvious best in slot, since it's her signature light cone. Increases crit damage by 36%. When they hit a target, it inflicts a debuff on them, so it furthers her game plan even more, lasting for a turn. The wearer deals more damage to enemies with empty bubbles, and ultimate damage is increased by 24%. If you go for her E6, she will make the game even easier than any other E6, in my opinion. Her E6 breaks the game in more ways than one, but obviously her best in slot. Also, respectfully, that Artho. Respectfully, though, obviously. And then her 4-star option, Good Night Sleep Well. For every other debuff the enemy has, damage dealt by the wearer increases by 12% for stacking up to 3 times. So if you can get that to S5, that's 24%. It's just a really good Nihility Light Cone that if you can get it, it is insane. I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure it's going to be reran on her banner. So if you do end up trying to pull for her light cone, you will hopefully end up with at least one of these. So if you don't get her light cone, then you at least have a good substitute. And I think this is the best alternative that isn't a 5-star light cone. And for free to play, I think for Mata, the new Penacony Nihility is all right, but I think this one is just better. Also, that art though, Kafka, gotta represent my girls. And that is it for this video. I will be making another one over team comps and kind of team theory, so look forward to that one as well. And leave a like if you liked it. Comment what you want to do for her in terms of teams, relics, all that fun stuff. And I will see you in the next time. Peace.